Hey everybody, Martin Gilmore here. I got a request to kind of teach some of the special chords that I use on my version of In the Jailhouse now, so I thought I would do that. Thanks to @MarkRichardson6629 and @ChetTerry4506 for requesting those. And yeah, here you go. I'll go through all the chords that I use, the basic ones and the more advanced ones, just so that everybody can see them. I use a standard C chord. I use this F chord, which is just a regular F. It's the same as this bar chord, I just play it with a different fingering. I can fret the high E string to get a high F note, but a lot of times I don't, I just cheat. The real trick is getting your thumb down here to fret the first fret of the low E string. That I do. Basically, I make an E chord with these fingers, use my thumb, and that's how that works. So, C, F, I use this G7 chord. Sometimes I'll turn that into a G9 by just fretting with my first finger and making a G9 there. It's up to you. They work in the same way, so it doesn't matter. The G7, I play my middle fingers on the low string at the 3rd fret, the low E string. My first finger's at the 2nd fret of the A string. Ring finger at the 3rd fret of the D string. And I don't play the high E, I just skip the high E, but you can fret it with your pinky finger if you want to. But generally I just stop before I get there. So I kind of just focus on the 4 strings. The G9, I fret the 3 strings at the 2nd fret, the A string, D string, and G string at the 2nd fret. Middle finger still at the low E string at the 3rd fret, and my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. So it just adds an A to that G7 chord and makes it a G9. That's a cool chord. So you can kind of go back and forth. It's hard to see. Here's G7, there's G9, G7, G9. All right. The other chords that I use a D7, but out of kind of a C7 position. I also use the C7. So that's your C chord with your pinky finger at the 3rd fret of the G string. You slide it up 2 frets. It's a D7. All right, I'll use both those chords. The G7 that I also use. This is a different variation of the G7. I use this one. It's kind of a leapfrog on the 3rd fret, the low E string at the 3rd fret, the D string at the 3rd fret, and the B string at the 3rd fret. Just leapfrog across with those fingers. So this is weird because it puts your first finger on the low E string, on the root note. Then your pinky finger reaches up and grabs the B note at the 4th fret of the G string. So that's 2 different G7s that I've given you in this video. You have this G7 and you have this G7. You could kind of intersperse, mix and match if you want to. This one's a little harder to play because it turns your fingers around. But it just works differently in different places. One voicing works one way, one voicing works the other way in a different place. So it goes, I had a friend named Ramblin' Bob, C chord, who liked to steal, gamble, and rob. He thought he was the swellest guy around, F chord. Bob got locked up Sunday. Bob got locked up Sunday. Then D7, they put him in a jailhouse way downtown. So there's the other G7, right? So you can hear like the change from this D7 to that G7 is just a really satisfying change. Now I could go from this D7 to this G7, and it's fine. I just like this one better. It's just a choice, right? So either one would work in that context. It just depends. The other little thing that I do sometimes is I kind of add a little kind of in-between chord that I play, a transition chord, a little G sharp diminished, which looks like this. Middle finger at the 4th fret on the low E string, ring finger at the 4th fret of the G string, first finger at the 3rd fret of the D string, and then everything else is muted. It's just those 3 notes. So in context, it would sound like this. They put him in a jailhouse way downtown. go back to the G7. He's in the jailhouse now, C7. He's in the jailhouse now, F. Well, I told him once or twice, G7, quit playing cards and quit shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now, C chord, C7. I-D-O-A-Yodel-O-O-T, that's F. I-T-Yodel-A-Yodel-O-O-T, C chord. I-T-Yodel-A-T, G7, A-T, Yodel-A. Those are kind of the cool chords that I play. In terms of playing rhythm, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm just basically going chord, 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 and I bounce my left hand with the rhythm. So, I had a friend named Ramblin' Bob who liked to steal, gamble, and rob. In the case of that C chord, I'm kind of focusing on the bass notes. But then when I go to the F, thought he was the swellest guy around. Now it's just chords. I found out last Sunday Bob got locked up Sunday. They put him in the jailhouse way down. In this case, I'm playing just a D7, chord, 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 but I'm still switching the bass note so you can hear the bass note change. They put him in the jailhouse way downtown. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. On that C chord, sometimes when I'm doing bass strum, I'll still bounce my hand, and it makes those bass notes really short. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. So I'm not doing anything special with my right hand, but if my left hand bounces, it just makes those notes really staccato. So you can kind of pay attention to those things. That's how I play it. I hope that helps. Good luck. Hey, if you like these lessons, come on over and join my Patreon. I have practice tracks there, song charts, and each month I post a lesson video for people who subscribe at different levels. If you just want to follow my music, there's also content there. Head on over to patreon.com/Martin Gilmore. See you there.